For centuries, humans had looked at the red planet and dreamed of walking on its dusty surface. Now in the year 2092, that dream had become real. The first long-term Mars colony, Aurora 1, stood like a bright scar on the endless red desert. Shining domes connected by thin tunnels, silent against the thin orange sky. Commander Elena Hart watched the sunrise from the main observatory. The light turned the sand into liquid gold. It was beautiful, but it was also deadly. The air outside could kill a person in less than a minute. Every breath, every heartbeat depended on machines. The colony had survived 3 years. The people of Aurora 1 were strong. Scientists, engineers, dreamers. But lately, something strange had been happening. Their sensors showed faint magnetic pulses coming from deep under the colony. They thought it was a software glitch until one of the drilling teams reported a strange sound, like a hum, repeating every few hours. Dr. Raj Malik, the lead geologist, didn't believe in luck. Mars has secrets, he said quietly to Elena one night as the lights flickered from a storm outside. The planet is alive in its own way, and I think it's trying to tell us something. At first the hum was weak, then it grew stronger, traveling through the ground, vibrating their metal floors. The crew could even feel it through their boots. Machines began to glitch. Power units shut down for seconds at a time. The colony's AI assistant, Eris, started giving odd readings. Underground movement, pressure changes, even traces of moisture far below the surface where there should be none. Elena called for a full investigation. "We came here to explore," she said. "So we'll explore." The next morning, a small team prepared to go outside. The red dust storm had cleared and the horizon looked endless. Raj led the way, holding a ground scanner. 2 others followed, tech engineer Maya and drone operator Luis. They walked to a rocky ridge 1/2 kilometer from the colony. The ground there was darker, older, shaped by ancient winds. The scanner beeped. Raj frowned. "There's a hollow space down there," he said. "About 50 meters deep." Maya checked her drone and sent it down through a narrow crack. The signal was weak but steady. The small screen showed rocks, dust, and then emptiness. A large open space under the surface. But what caught everyone's attention wasn't the empty chamber. It was the light. A soft blue glow like frozen lightning shining from the walls. Elena's voice came through the comms. "Is it ice?" Raj shook his head slowly. "No, this light is moving." They lost the drone signal moments later. Back in the command dome, the footage played again and again. No one could explain the glow. No known mineral or energy field on Mars behaved like that. Some thought it was an illusion. Static, lens flare, data corruption. But Raj felt something else. "The planet isn't dead," he said. "Something is happening beneath us." Over the next few days, more strange things occurred. Their oxygen farms began showing drops in pressure even when sealed. The communication array detected a low-frequency pulse every night at the same hour. It almost sounded like a heartbeat. People grew uneasy. Some whispered about ancient microbes waking up after millions of years. Others feared the radiation storms had damaged their systems beyond repair. Elena refused to believe either. She wanted facts, not fears. One evening, as the twin moons rose over the red dunes, the hum came again, louder than before. This time it wasn't only in the ground. It was inside the walls, inside the air. Lights flickered, alarms echoed, and the temperature dropped fast. Then just as suddenly it stopped. Everything went still. When Elena checked the readings, she noticed something impossible. The hum's source had moved, from the ridge to directly below the colony. Raj stared at the monitor. "Whatever it is," he said, "it's coming closer." That night no one slept. Some crew members gathered at the observatory window, staring into the silent desert. Outside, the planet looked calm, but deep down they all felt the same quiet fear. Mars had always been silent, but now for the first time in history it was making a sound. Elena recorded her log before midnight. Her voice trembled slightly, though she tried to hide it. "We don't know what's beneath us. It may be geological. It may be something we've never encountered before. Tomorrow we begin drilling. If this is life, even the smallest trace, it will change everything we know about the universe." But as the lights dimmed and the colony settled into uneasy silence, a small vibration trembled through the floor again, soft, rhythmic, almost like breathing. And somewhere beneath Aurora 1, in the red rock that had been untouched for billions of years, something seemed to stir. The next morning on Mars began like every other and quiet, cold and painted in shades of red and gold, but inside Aurora 1 no one felt calm. The strange hum that had echoed through the colony the night before was still fresh in everyone's mind. Commander Elena Hart had not slept at all. Her team gathered in the main control room. Dr. Raj Malik stood beside the large display showing underground readings. The signal moved during the night, he said, his voice low. It's now directly under Habitat Sector 3. It's deep, around 60 meters down. Maya frowned. Could it be some kind of seismic movement? Raj shook his head. No. Mars doesn't have tectonic activity strong enough to move like that. This is something else. Elena took a deep breath. We start drilling today. I want eyes underground. The drilling site was set up just outside the colony's dome. The red dust swirled in thin air as the machine came to life. Its metal claws cut into the ancient ground slowly, layer by layer. Raj monitored the sensors while Luis prepared a new exploration drone. Hours passed. The drill hit something solid. Not rock and something smoother. When they pulled up the sample, everyone stared. The surface of the object was metallic, dark silver, and perfectly shaped. It wasn't natural. This can't be Martian rock, Raj whispered. It's manufactured. Elena touched the cold surface through her gloves. You're saying it's a structure? Or a container, Raj replied. They continued drilling until a hollow space opened below. The drone was lowered down carefully. The live feed showed a wide underground chamber. The walls looked like metal mixed with stone, curved and seamless. Symbols glowed faintly across the surface. Unknown markings, not human, not any known language. Maya zoomed in. Those symbols? They're reacting to light, she said. The closer the drone's beam came, the brighter they shone. Then something unexpected happened. The drone's lights flickered and died. A low vibration filled the speakers. The same hum, but now clearer, deeper, almost like a voice trying to speak. Pull it back, Elena ordered, but it was too late. The feed turned white, then black. The drone signal was gone. Back at the command center, silence filled the room. No one spoke for several seconds. Raj broke it first. If this is what I think it is, he said slowly, we're standing above something artificial, something built long before humans ever dreamed of reaching Mars. Elena rubbed her forehead. A civilization? Or a remnant of one, Raj replied. But this metal, it's still active. It's giving off energy, maybe even a signal. Later that night, they ran deep scans again. The results were shocking. Beneath the metallic layer, there were chambers, tunnels stretching for kilometers, forming a perfect circular pattern. At the center was a massive object, colder than its surroundings, yet radiating electromagnetic pulses. Luis leaned closer to the screen. It's like a machine, Elena whispered, or a heart. As the team tried to make sense of the data, Eris, the colony's AI, interrupted. Warning, magnetic interference detected. Source underground. Systems at risk. Lights flickered across the dome. Communication with Earth went down for a full minute. The hum grew stronger again, shaking the metal floors. People ran to secure equipment as alarms blared. Then, just as quickly as it began, the vibrations stopped. When the noise faded, the AI spoke again. But its voice had changed. Slower. Deeper. Energy pattern recognized. Not human. Not natural. Then it cut off. Everyone froze. The only sound was their own breathing. Elena looked around at her crew. Whatever's under us is interfering with our systems. It's not just alive. It's aware. That sentence stayed in their minds the whole night. The next morning, the sky outside turned dusty red again. The colony looked peaceful, but inside, tension filled the air. They decided to send a small manned team into the underground structure. Elena chose Raj, Maya, and Luis to go with her. They suited up and descended through the newly drilled tunnel. It was narrow and dark. The light from their helmets reflected off smooth metallic walls. As they reached the bottom, the hum returned, soft but constant, echoing through the chamber. Maya's scanner blinked rapidly. There's oxygen traces here, she said, confused. Levels too low for breathing, but still oxygen. That's impossible. They walked deeper and the walls began to change color, from silver to faint blue, glowing softly. Strange symbols covered every surface, pulsing like veins under skin. Raj touched one of them carefully. The light responded. The symbol brightened and the hum rose in pitch. The entire chamber trembled. "Step back," Elena shouted. But before they could react, the floor beneath them shifted. Dust rose and a section of the wall opened slowly, revealing a dark passage beyond. Cold air drifted out, mixed with a faint scent of minerals and something unfamiliar. Something alive. Elena stared into the darkness. "This place isn't dead," she said quietly. "It's waiting." Behind them, the tea. The word awaken echoed through the comms, soft but powerful, vibrating through their helmets and hearts alike. For a moment, no one moved. Only the soft blue glow lit the chamber, painting their faces in ghostly light. Commander Elena Hart's breath fogged her visor. "Did everyone hear that?" she whispered. Raj nodded slowly. "Yes, but that's impossible. There's no life form here. Nothing that can talk." Maya's scanner flickered again. "The signal came from that direction," she said, pointing toward the newly opened passage. The hum had stopped, replaced by an uneasy silence. Elena looked at her team. "We record everything and move carefully. If something here is trying to communicate, we have to understand it." They stepped into the dark passage. The air was heavy, almost magnetic. The walls shimmered faintly with strange symbols. They seemed to react to their movement. "Glowing brighter with every step," Luis whispered. "It's like the place knows we're here." The corridor led them into a vast circular chamber. It was massive, easily the size of a stadium hidden deep beneath Mars' surface. At its center stood a structure that looked like a sphere made of glass and metal, half buried in the ground, pulsing with faint blue light. Raj scanned it. "It's giving off energy, radiation levels low but steady. It's functioning." Elena circled the sphere. "Functioning after millions of years?" Before Raj could answer, the light inside the sphere brightened. Thin lines of energy moved across its surface, forming patterns, not random but rhythmic like a heartbeat. The hum returned, louder now, steady, strong. Then the ground trembled. "Commander, readings are spiking again," Maya shouted. Elena steadied herself. "Everyone stay back." But it was too late. The surface of the sphere cracked open, releasing a wave of blue light that filled the chamber. Their visors darkened automatically, shielding their eyes. When the light faded, they saw something floating inside, a figure suspended in liquid. It wasn't human. It was tall, thin, with translucent skin and long limbs, almost graceful in shape. Its eyes were closed as if asleep. Raj whispered, "It's a being." Maya's voice shook. "Are we seeing an alien life form?" Elena's heart pounded. "If this is real, we just made the greatest discovery in human history." Suddenly, the being's eyes opened. They glowed faint blue, the same color as the symbols on the walls. A deep vibration filled the air again, but this time it wasn't random. It felt focused, directed at them. Raj's calm crackled. "It's speaking again." Through the static, they heard it, a calm, echoing voice. "Who disturbs the silence?" Elena took a deep breath. "We come in peace. We are explorers. From Earth." There was a pause. Then the voice replied, slower this time. "Earth, the still alive?" Raj looked at her, eyes wide. "It knows our planet's name." Elena stepped closer to the sphere. "Yes, we come from the third planet." "Who are you?" The being blinked once. "Guardian." "Of the vault." The world above was silent for many cycles. I remained. "Waiting." "The vault?" Maya repeated. The being raised one hand slightly and the chamber around them lit up. Hidden walls came alive with light, revealing massive structures, towers, machines, and tunnels stretching beyond sight. Raj's scanner went wild. "This isn't just a chamber," he said in awe. "It's a city, buried under Mars." Elena's voice was almost a whisper, "A world within." The being continued, speaking through the comms. "Long ago Mars was alive, and oceans, air, forests. But the world died. We built this place to preserve knowledge. And life." Maya's eyes widened. "You mean this city is a vault, a survival chamber?" The being nodded slowly. "Yes. When the surface turned to dust, the last of us went into sleep. I was the watcher. But time passed. Systems failed. I remained. Alone." Raj stepped closer. "Why now?"
"Why wake up now?"
The being looked toward the ceiling as if sensing something beyond it. "Because your kind came. The surface lives again. The silence is broken. Suddenly alarms from their suits began to beep. Oxygen pressure dropping, energy spikes from beneath the floor. Luis shouted, "Commander? Energy levels rising fast and we need to go." Elena hesitated. "We can't just leave this. It's our proof and our history." But before anyone could argue, the sphere began to shake. Cracks formed across its surface and a burst of blue light erupted again. The energy hit their suits, knocking them off their feet. When Elena regained focus, the being was no longer inside the sphere. It stood in front of them, tall, glowing, and almost human-like. Its voice was clear now, not through comms, but in their minds. "The vault is unstable," it said. "If it collapses, the energy below will destroy your colony." Raj tried to respond, but his voice trembled. "Can you stop it?" The being turned toward the glowing walls. "Perhaps. But I need power. Your machines above, can they give energy?" Elena nodded quickly. "Yes, our reactors, we can link them to you." The being's eyes glowed brighter. "Then hurry. The heart of Mars is waking, and it does not remember mercy." The ground shook again, stronger this time. Rocks fell from the ceiling. The hum grew into a roar. Elena shouted to her team, "Back to the surface. Move now." As they ran toward the tunnel, the being raised one hand. A wave of light shielded them from falling debris. Elena looked back one last time. The alien figure stood tall amid the chaos, glowing like a star in the darkness. She didn't know if it was saving them, or saving itself. The team climbed back toward the surface tunnel as the earth shook around them. The sound was no longer just a hum. It was a roar, deep and alive, like the planet itself was waking from a long sleep. Dust rained from the ceiling. The blue glow behind them grew brighter and brighter. Elena led the way, her voice steady over the comms. "Move, don't look back." They reached the upper tunnel and finally crawled into the red daylight of Mars. The moment they stepped out, the ground beneath them cracked. Small waves of energy rolled through the sand like ripples on water. From the colony, alarms echoed through the domes. Eris, the AI, came back online with a distorted voice. "Warning, seismic activity detected below the colony. Power fluctuations at critical levels." Raj caught his breath. "It's starting. The whole vault is waking up." Elena looked toward the direction of the drill site. Blue light shimmered faintly through the cracks in the red ground. "He said the energy could destroy us. We need to connect the reactors now." Maya and Luis ran toward the control dome while Elena and Raj stayed near the site to monitor the readings. The hum had changed rhythm. Faster, louder, almost like a heartbeat racing in panic. Minutes later, the colony's generators began channeling energy downward through the drilling conduit. Sparks flashed along the cables. The ground shook harder. Inside the command dome, Maya yelled, "Power link stable, for now!" Elena spoke into her comm. "Guardian, we're giving you energy. Tell me you can hear this." At first there was nothing. Then the same calm voice returned, soft but clear. "I feel it. The vault is breathing again." Down below, deep beneath their feet, the ancient structures came alive. Massive walls shifted, gears turned, and the blue light spread like veins across the underground city. For the first time in millions of years, the heart of Mars beat again, but it wasn't calm. The readings on Raj's screen spiked wildly. "Commander, it's too much. The reactors can't handle this load. If we keep feeding energy, they'll explode." Elena hesitated. "If we stop now, the vault collapses." "Either way," Raj said, "we lose everything." The ground split open near the ridge. A shockwave of blue light shot into the sky, twisting the thin Martian air into shimmering patterns. The colony lights flickered. Then, through the swirling dust, the Guardian appeared. It rose slowly from the cracked earth, wrapped in energy, almost weightless. Its voice filled the air, not through the radios this time, but through vibration, through sound itself. "Humans of Earth," it said, "you woke what was sleeping. The vault must release its memory before it dies." Elena stared in awe. "What do you mean?" The being extended a hand toward the sky. A burst of light erupted from its palm, and suddenly the surface around them changed. For a brief moment, the red desert transformed, not in reality, but in their minds. They saw oceans stretching across the planet, forests of silver trees, and towers made of crystal rising from green plains. Birds of light flew across purple skies. Mars, once alive, vibrant, full of color. Maya gasped. "We're seeing the past," the Guardian spoke again. "This world was not meant to die. But pride and war ended it. We sealed our knowledge here, waiting for another life to find it, waiting for hope." Elena's eyes filled with tears. And now we're that hope? The being looked at her. Perhaps. But life must begin again, not just survive. The light began to fade. The Guardian's form flickered, unstable. Raj shouted, "Energy output is falling. The vault is collapsing." Elena turned toward the colony. "Maya, Luis, shut down the reactors now." But before they could act, the Guardian raised its hand once more. "Let me return what was lost." The energy around it burst outward in a wave so strong it threw everyone to the ground. The sky turned white, the sand lifted, and the world fell silent. When Elena opened her eyes, everything was still. The air shimmered faintly, warm against her suit. Her systems were alive, oxygen normal, pressure stable. Raj helped her stand. "Commander," he whispered, pointing ahead. The red sand around them was no longer dry. A thin layer of mist hovered above the ground, and small patches of dark soil had turned moist. Water, tiny streams, trickled between the rocks. Maya's voice came through the comms. "Shake."